We begin with news from the nation's capital, the Supreme Court ruling that lower court judges cannot issue nationwide injunctions. The justice's decision pertains to all cases, but the ruling comes out of a case involving birthright citizenship. The decision doesn't mean his policy takes effect yet. It remains blocked for now as lower courts rework their orders on birthright citizenship. Meantime, critics call the ruling on no nationwide injunctions dangerous, saying it could let policies move forward even if found unconstitutional. Donald Trump says the ruling allows the president to not be overruled unfairly.
These judges have attempted to dictate the law for the entire nation. In practice, this meant that if any one of the nearly 700 federal judges disagreed with the policy of a duly elected president of the United States, he or she could block that policy from going into effect or at least delay it for many years.
This part of the Supreme Court ruling put off a decision on birthright citizenship, as we mentioned, whether someone born in the U.S. is automatically a citizen. But the justices rule on a question rolled into part of that birthright citizenship case. As KGUN 9's Craig Smith reports from federal court, that part of the Supreme Court decision could affect a wide range of court cases.
Here at Tucson Federal Court, a ruling by just one of the federal judges here had the potential to affect everyone in the country. But that just changed because of a ruling by the Supreme Court. Before, if you convinced a federal judge something like a presidential order should be stopped, it could be a universal injunction that would apply nationwide. The Supreme Court ruling means the order would just apply to you. Everyone else would have to file their own lawsuit and get their own individual ruling. That makes it easier for a president to enforce what he wants without a nationwide court order getting in the way. The opinion applies not just to presidential orders, but to a huge range of issues a local federal judge may decide.
You might have different district courts in different districts. You might have different circuit courts which cover different states issuing different rulings. You could have a patchwork of results.
Attorney Louis Fidel says now for a court ruling to apply nationwide, that ruling will probably have to come from the Supreme Court. He says it might be possible for a large group to file a class action lawsuit seeking a ruling that would apply to more than just one person, but the result would only apply to the people who legitimately fall into that group.
What this decision means is that an injunction in a class action lawsuit can only apply to the members of the class. And so then, you know, I guess you could file a class action lawsuit and try to make the class as broad as possible.
Federal courts already have big backlogs and long waits before a case comes to trial. Louis Fidel says the ruling will probably lead to more individual lawsuits and waits that run even longer. At Tucson Federal Court, Craig Smith, KGUN 9.